Welcome to howtocookthat.net. Today we're going to look at how to make an owl, a small one, to go on top of a child's birthday cake. This is actually my 1-year-old to be's, one of his favourite toys. So I'm making some small versions of his favourite toys to go on top of his birthday cake. So I'll just put that to one side as a reference. And we're going to start with the body. I've mixed the colour not quite all the way through, so it's a little bit marbled because the body is not a uniform colour on that. So it won't be exactly the same, but it will be fine. So I'm going to take a little bit separate for the little ears up the top. And then I've got this texture mat. You can buy texture mats for cake decorating, and they are quite expensive to buy, but I got quite a few of them, all of these different ones, all from a child's rubbings book. I'll put the link to it on the website. Make it plumper than it needs, and then when I push the mat down on it, it will go about the right width. And this is just giving that texture to it, look a bit like the feathers. And as I'm doing it, I'm trying to roughly shape it how my owl toy is. Straight along the bottom, and just that will also allow it to stand up. And then we've got 2 ears at the top. Cut it in half to make it equal, and make the ear shape. I'm shaping it down only because this bit here is sliding down to make sure it sticks like that, and a little bit of water on your finger from some water in a bowl, and pop that one on there like that. This one, roll it into a bowl, shaping it down, ready to attach. Rough it up a bit, a little bit of water on your finger from a bowl, and pop that one on there. Now I'd like to texture the ears a little bit to match as well. Just grab my texture mat and give a little push down. Okay, next we're going to make our beak. I've already coloured all the fondant. If you don't know how to colour fondant, just look back through the videos and you'll see a fondant basics one that explains how to colour it. Using a pizza cutter to cut it so it doesn't drag through. And basically just keep cutting until you've got one that you're happy with. Now it's got a line of stitching, so I'm not going to push all the way through, but just do a gentle line there. I'll just put that one to one side. Now he's got a blue tummy. Now his birthday is in a couple of weeks, so that gives me plenty of time to leave these to dry out, so then I can just put them on the cake on the day. We want it to be an oval shape, so I'm just going to cut that out with a knife. Okay, then we're just going to put a little bit of water underneath, not too much, and put the owl's tummy on. Just using the edge of the knife, just very carefully neaten up your edges. Okay, now we want to do the eyes. This one has writing. We're not going to do that level of detail on this because it's only a small one, so I'm just going to do 2 eyes, one smaller than the other. Don't need that much. With your leftover fondant from your different colours, just wrap them in Glad wrap and pop them in a Ziploc bag, and they should keep for quite some time, so you can use them for other projects. All the birthdays in our house are all fairly close together, so that makes it handy for using leftover. Okay, a little bit of water underneath, and then just stick that one on. Roll it into a ball and squish it flat. We'll just reposition this one a little bit so that they're meeting in the middle. And then we'll pop the beak on. Okay, now we need to do the 2 little wings on either side. So we want them to be equal in size. Obviously we don't want one massive one and one little one. So we're going to start by just making 2 equal balls. Okay, then we're going to start with a circle, squash it flat, and then make it into more of a triangle shape. Squash it flat again. Grabbing a knife, not too sharp if you're doing it on your hand, cut and cut. to do is round off those. Separate them while you're trying to round them off. Okay, then pop them back together. Now we want it to be sitting on an angle like that, so we'll put it there and then slice it straight. That gives you your angle. Now I'm not putting it on just yet because I'd like to add a texture to that one too. I've got a floury one here. Just press there. I'll put that one on there. Now, because I want it to sit forward like that, it's going to need support while it's drying. So the easiest thing to do, get some of your baking paper, roll it up, and just pop it underneath. That just gives it a little bit of support while it's drying. Repeat for the other wing. Roll it into a ball, triangle, squish it flat, cut it into 3, and cut it so that it's on the angle of the body. Bit of water, pop the wing on, roll up some baking paper. And now to do the eyelashes, you could do them out of black fondant, but I think it's going to be much easier to paint them on. For this I'm just going to use some of the food colouring that you usually use to colour the fondant. Now if you're not confident painting it on the fondant straight away, just get a spare bit and practice on that first. So you need to practice with how much of the black you need to get on your brush so that you get a nice dark, because you don't want to be having to go over it a second time. So, but you also don't want too much on your brush because you don't want it really thick. So just experiment with how much you need. We just want half a circle on this one. And then we want a bigger circle on this one. And then we just want to do some little eyelashes. If you want to make it look like it's stitched on, is if you've got a pastry comb, just go around the edges, shift it along, do it again. You could just do this with a knife, it would just take longer. On his body you can also see he's got some little feather marks. I'm just going to do them gently with a skewer. It's the little details which make the difference between something looking okay and looking really good. So that we can get our outer stand up on the cake, I'm going to stick some spaghetti straight up the middle, and then once he's completely dry and hard, I can shorten those, and on the day I can just push them into the top of the cake, and that will ensure that he will stand up. Thanks for watching this tutorial. If you enjoyed it, why not click like, leave me a comment or subscribe to this channel. To see the finished cake, go to howtocookthat.net. The link is in the description below this video. Enjoy.